Oh, hello. Welcome to Gourmet, the channel where I cook my way through all the cookbooks I own and have never used. Today, this is going to be a little bit of a different video. We're using delicious Disney desserts as a starting point. I wasn't going to make it, but this mascarpone and amaretto tart just kept calling my name. It has cranberries in it, but it's currently cherry season. So I'm going to swap out the cherries or I'm going to swap out the cranberries for cherries and see how that goes. But I have beautiful cherries in the fridge right now, and I don't want them to go to waste. If this one doesn't turn out, it doesn't turn out. But I don't care. We're just kind of going with the flow on this one. I can't say that we're following recipe, but we're definitely switching some things out. So let's just get started. So we're going to start with sifting some flour and almond flour. So this recipe is supposed to have ground almonds, and I couldn't find ground almonds, but I found some almond flour. So that's what I'm going to use. The internet told me that I could kind of I made a mess. That I could substitute them, but that ground almonds were just more coarse, is the word. So, that is what it is. It's fine. We just need a half cup of that. And we need to sift our flour, and I figured if I have almond flour, I might as well sift that along with the flour. Like I said, we're definitely doing this recipe kind of just based purely on vibes. So it is what it is. We need a cup and a half, or 1.5 cups. I guess that's the same thing, of all-purpose flour. There we go. We might have slightly too much flour. I don't know how the addition of almond flour into the flour is going to go. And so it might be like a slightly drier, what's the word? Mixture. But whatever. We can always add water. We can always add something in there to make it better. This was the wrong size. I'm just making a mess, is all I'm doing. I've got a cup of butter in here. This is just 2 sticks of butter that we are going to have to cream with some sugar. I guess I can plug in the mixer. That might be helpful. Now we need to find sugar. Why did I get nothing ready? Okay. I'm going to measure out just a half cup of regular sugar. There's our half cup of sugar. And then we are just going to... okay. Was that still in frame? Sure. That's good enough for me. Oh, no. That was the wrong button. Oh, I've messed it up already. Uh-oh. I'm normally not this terrible. Okay. There we go. That's a little better. We'll get this one going until until our butter gets softer. Whoops. That's better. Okay. We're getting some. Now we can start creaming it. Okay, I'm going to call it there. That's creamed. We need to go ahead and add in an egg. So let me just get this going. Okay, there we go. 1 egg. I think our egg has sufficiently been beaten in. It looks like things didn't go quite right, but that's okay. And now we get to add in our... oh, we're supposed to stir in our flour and our almonds. Okay, well then we can do that. Well, I guess I'll just go ahead and clean this off first. I'm following the recipe in a way, but I'm definitely not following the recipe, right? Like, I'm going to make substitutions here and there. I'm kind of doing like what I think will be good. Will it be good? I don't know. I'm not like a recipe maker, but I like to cook. So in theory, I know what goes together and what doesn't. Okay. Let's just move that out of the way for right now because I can't be bothered to change the camera angle again. I'm just going to scrape down the sides. It looks a little chunky, but the egg is all mixed in, so that's what we're worried about. And then I am going to go ahead and take our bowl of flour and almonds flour and mix this in. The book specifically says to stir it in, so I'm doing that by hand. I feel like our dough is together, but it's very soft, and I don't know if that's right. But I'm going to lay out a piece of plastic wrap, and yeah, I'm going to lay out, sorry, I got confused on where I was in the directions. I'm going to lay out a piece of plastic wrap, and we're going to chill this for about 2 to 3 hours. So it's been overnight. Basically, here's our dough. We were supposed to let it rest for like 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours in the fridge. I let it rest overnight because I started editing a video, and then time just got away from me, and before I knew it, it was like 5:30 at night, and I said, I'm not doing this. So, yeah, I've had it overnight. I've got it back out. I've just had it sitting on the counter because it was quite cold. We're going to go ahead and roll this out. Let me get some flour on our little cutting board here. And of course, make a mess while I do, because why not, you know? Okay, let's get that out of the way. So the fun part about this is I now own a tart pan. I finally broke down and bought one. Just have to roll our dough out. The cookbook says to a quarter or an eighth of an inch thick. We're going to try to do that. It also says to roll it out on wax paper and then transfer it. That's not going to be happening. I don't own wax paper. I don't like wax paper. So, once again, like, just more of the recipe that we're really kind of only sort of following. But let's see. Maybe I need to put this back in. Maybe it's a little too warm. Uh-oh. Oops. Okay. It was a really wet dough, though, which maybe that's why they want it on wax paper. I'm just now remembering how wet this dough was. And I don't... Out of all the tarts we've made before, we've never had one be so wet. Okay, it's time to try again. I gave up, or I guess I gave in, and I have a sheet of parchment paper here. I think this is going to help with how sticky it is. But immediately that feels so much better. Like, that is way, way better. Okay. Now I get it. But this is the first time I've used a tart pan, so this is an experiment for all of us. Get this here. Okay, great. And yeah, it's definitely stuck to the cutting board. I should have sandwiched it in between in between the parchment paper. That I did not do. Okay, that's okay. We have spatulas for a reason. This is fine. This is fine. We can come back from this. Well, okay, I'm just gonna... There we go. It's coming. It's coming off. This is gonna be fine. We've got this. I'm not worried about it. Oh, I cracked it. You know what? That's okay. That is okay. I'm gonna go ahead and try to sprinkle some with some more flour. Mostly because what I'm gonna do is roll it up with the rolling pin a little bit and then transfer it that way. That's what we're going to do. Okay, great. Except we've lost that whole side. That's fine. We've lost this side too. Oh, I guess I missed a piece. You know what? Oh, this is not going well. That's okay. That's okay. We're just going to take what we have. Uh-oh. This is rapidly not going well. And boop. Oh. So it's not going to be pretty, but we're going to have tart shell in there. So let's just go ahead and we're just going to press what we have currently in here. And then we'll take whatever dough we need, and yeah, we're just gonna fill it in. That's how this works. You're never gonna notice. Look at her, beautiful. You'll never be able to tell that I messed up. Okay, so the directions say to trim the sides and then let this sit to the side. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I am gonna trim it, but I think I'm gonna put this in the fridge for it to wait. And then when we need this again, in theory, it will be ready to go. Who knows? I don't know why I keep making tarts when I'm like objectively not good at it. But hey, it is just it's what's happening. Okay, so there's our tart. We'll just carefully place this in the fridge. I'm going to clean everything up, and then we can get started on the next steps. I have made an utter mess. Okay, so it's time to use the mixer. We finally cleaned my whole mess up. It's time to get in with the mixer. We have a stick of butter, or a half cup of butter in here. It was supposed to be softened at room temp. I forgot to take it out of the fridge, so it's been microwaved. We're going to go ahead and add in 1/3. Sorry, I thought it was a half cup. It's not. It's a 1/3 cup plus 4 teaspoons of sugar into our butter, and we're going to cream those together. So I'm going to measure out 1/3 cup. What an interesting measurement. 1/3 cup and 4 teaspoons. Like, okay. 4 teaspoons. I guess it would help to plug in the mixer. Jeez, this is... Oh, am I here today? Okay, great. And let's just get that going. There we go. That's creamed enough for me. Now we need to add in 2 egg yolks. And I'm going to get those ready, but we also need 1 egg white. I'm going to put it in this bowl. Can you see? Yeah, sure. The whole frame. I'm going to put it in the bowl that you can't see into, because we will be making like a meringue later on. And we're supposed to beat until light and fluffy. So we'll beat these a little longer. Okay, I'll call that light and fluffy. That's good enough for me. Now we need to go ahead and we're going to add in a cup of mascarpone cheese. I don't know. I realized mid-sentence I don't know how to say this without like a weird accent, but this is, you know the ones. And then we need a cup of ricotta, so I just got the same ricotta. And then some vanilla extract, orange zest, and lemon zest. And we're going to fold all this in. So luckily the mascarpone, if I can get it open, luckily this comes in a cup, so I don't have to measure this. That was not the case with the ricotta. I've got a spoon, and we're just going to go ahead and spoon this in. Now we're going to measure out a cup of ricotta. My plan going into this was that I was going to use the cup of the mascarpone, but I messed that up. So I've got a 1/3 cup here, and I'm just going to spoon ricotta into this 1/3 cup, and we'll just put 3 of these in there. Ricotta's in. Let us go ahead and add in our half tablespoon of vanilla extract. So we're using our homemade vanilla extract, of course, except I can't get it open. Oh, there we go. And sure, that's close enough. And then we need the zest of half an orange and the zest of half a lemon. So I've got my orange here, I've got my zester, and we're just gonna, I've got flour all over this orange. And here we go. We're just gonna start zesting. I can already tell you, this is gonna take much longer than I want it to. Okay. Thank God that's finished. It's a poor job, but we did it. That's half of our orange. Now we need half of our lemon. So here's our lemon. We'll get all the all the flour off of this as well. And we're just going to go in. Okay. There's our lemon. And we'll just get these guys right in there. But let's give this one more go around, and then we'll clean off the attachment again. And this is going to get sat to the side for right now. Oh, I'm going to put that in there. This is going to get sat to the side while we make a meringue. The meringue, I'm not going to show you. We've made plenty of meringue on this channel. Okay, so we've got our meringue out. It's stiff peaks. We have our ricotta cheese sugar egg mixture. Now we need to fold in the cheese mixture into the egg white mixture. What I think I'm going to do is fold this into here, mostly because I like the glass bowl better. Is that correct? I don't know. But we're not following this recipe to a T, so I'm doing what I want. And that's what I'm telling myself. And when it doesn't come out good, you know, it's fully on me, but I probably will blame the recipe to make myself feel better. But let's go ahead and let's get these guys folded together. Perfect. Okay, so I think that's pretty well folded together. Now we are going to combine some almond flour, or ground almonds, and cake flour. We already know that I don't have ground almonds. I'm using the almond flour. That's going to have to do for this. I don't know why I have to combine this. I'm not doing this in a small bowl. I'm saving myself a step. It said in a small bowl, combine the flour and the almonds. I'm not doing that. We need a half cup of each. I'm throwing both right in here. This is cake flour. We've used it in a prior recipe. This step specifically calls for cake flour. I would normally use all-purpose, but I actually own the cake flour, so we might as well. Let's get that half cup in there. Oops, maybe a little more. Oh well. And we'll close this up, and we'll start stirring these together. This doesn't say fold this time, it says stir, so I'm going to stir. Which seems counterintuitive because we just spent all that time folding in the egg whites. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to wipe my finger really quick. So we've got all of this in our bowl. Now we are going to blend in amaretto and then fold in cranberry. So we need 2 tablespoons of amaretto. And I'm just using this like Di Serono amaretto. I don't even know if there's other kinds. I'm assuming there are, but this is the only one that I know. Let us get in our 2 tablespoons and let us just go ahead and it says to whip or blend in. So I'm just really quickly doing it this way. Great, we did it. And now we need to add in our half cup of cranberries. So this is where we're separating. This is the 3/4 cup. There's probably 11 to 12 cherries in here, but it's cherry season. These are fantastic cherries. They're beings. Those are my favorite cherries. At least I think they are. I could be wrong. But I went ahead and did a full 3/4 of a cup. And pretty much for every cherry that went in here, I ate 2. I didn't think that anybody needed to see, you know, me cutting the cherries. I don't think that was necessary. That just looked like a bloodbath. But let's go ahead and fold these in. And I thought cherries, like, I know they're not a cranberry, but they're kind of, to me, like, very similar in a way that they're both, like, tart. Cherries probably lean a little sweeter than a cranberry. But I'm not going to be mad at that. And I think, like, amaretto and cherry go well together. Almond and cherry go well, so... And I don't know. I just think this is going to work. I have high hopes. So there's our folded in cherries. Now we've got our tart dough. We need to spread over on the bottom a half cup of apricot jam. So I couldn't find apricot jam, but I found apricot preserves. So that's what we'll be using. And then I've got my little like offset spatula. And I'm just kind of going to guesstimate what a half cup is. That feels about right. And we're just going to spread across the bottom. I might add a little bit more because it is a preserve, not a jam. But I don't know. It seems like it's spreading out pretty well. Okay, perfect. That looks beautiful. Okay, so our jam is done. Let's go ahead and just scoop in our filling. I feel like it's just pushing the jam to the side, but oh well. This might be too small of a tart pan, but that's okay. I say that's okay a lot because I really do have to reassure myself and be like, it kind of is what it is. There's no choice. Um, so yeah, there's that. Should I? Um, I'm just trying to see. I might put a baking sheet under this to catch some of it because I just have a feeling it's going to bubble over. It's going to be kind of ugly. Um, so I might put a big baking sheet on bottom, but this is going to go in the oven. Our oven's been preheated to 325, and we're going to cook this for 30 to 35 minutes. Okay, so our tart has been cooling. This is what she looks like. I realized that the pan or the tart pan is too small for the recipe. And I also realized as I was taking it out of the oven and all of the oil and some batter was sitting on the baking sheet that I had put underneath this in the oven, that obviously you're supposed to use a baking sheet because this isn't a closed pan. The bottom pops out. So I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but we're going to try something. I've got the jar of apricot preserves here. And we're just going to pop the tin off and take whatever sides it may. And then I've got the bottom here. So this is going not so poorly. I thought it was going to go a lot worse. It's a soft tart. And I'm going to crack it. Hold on. We're going to get a spatula. Okay. Hey, we did it. Look at us go. Now, what I thought would be good, the recipe does not call for this, but what I thought would be nice was to brush the top with some apricot jam or preserves, just to get like a nice little sheen on it. But I think she looks beautiful. So we're going to let it cool just a little bit more, and then we get to try it, which I'm so ready for. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. Here's the inside of our tart. Looks it looks so good. Now, if you're a fan of Bake Off, I don't think it has I like a crusty bottom. I think it's a soggy bottom, but that's because I baked it in the wrong size pie or a tart pan. So a tart pan. Ooh. So that's what it is. But look at this. Oh, it looks so pretty. I'm I'm so excited to try a bite. Oh man, it smells so good. Oh, that's great. That is so good. Oh boy. And this might be wrong, but I kind of want whipped cream with it. I might try that later. Um, it's tart, right? Like it's a tart. Um, we'll see if that makes it or not. Look, let's get down to it, right? This one. Ingredients. Um, Easy to find, I guess. Not really. I don't know how to rank this one. I just realized that. I think, okay, we couldn't find ground almonds. No, sure, I didn't look super hard for them, but they weren't at one grocery store, and that's the only one I went to. I couldn't find cranberries, so I substituted those two things. And then I added the apricot glaze on top. So I kind of did three things differently. um, which I don't, I guess, right. This is not the tart it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be cranberries. I went into this knowing I was going to do cherries. And I think the cherries are fantastic in it. I think this is a really good tart. Can we call it an 8? I think that's what I'm going to go for. I think the dough was really wet, and I kind of messed it up rolling it. I should have sandwiched it between two pieces of parchment paper. I get why they want wax paper. I didn't know it was going to be so wet after it sat in the fridge. So, A, there's that. B, I have a 9-inch tart pan. They wanted 10.5. I don't think that's the regular measurement. Not sure 100%. I couldn't find ground almonds, couldn't find cranberries. So all of those things kind of go into it, but it is so good on its own that like it's hard to take away too many points for it. So I think a solid 8 is what it's going to be. I like this one. I can't wait to eat the rest of it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.